Hey, what's up? Dusk here, and today I want to talk about base building, how to build good bases, not only aesthetically, but also deadly and fun. Now, you may think, well, why do I need to make my bases fun? Raiders just need to get over it. No, Raiders will just uninstall the game, as they have been doing all week. The player numbers are in pretty heavy decline. You need to think of your base like a pitcher plant. If you're not familiar with what a pitcher plant is, Google it. It's a carnivorous plant similar to a Venus flytrap. You need to attract raiders like insects and then kill them. So first, let's talk about aesthetics. A lot of artistic, really creative people probably aren't going to learn anything from this video, but for those of you who are struggling, I've got some really basic rules, a couple of rule of thumbs that will help you build aesthetically pleasing bases. And that is to pick 2 to 3 block types and alternate them. As you see in this example here, we just have the boring white brick and the boring gray concrete, but we use the triangle shapes and we alternate them to make something that is pretty appealing architecture. And I do this with this example base back here, where we go with a yellow, green, and white aesthetic. I use alternating triangle shapes with squares. Also, the alternating material type, where we use the gray concrete as a sort of like pillar that helps break up the triangle shape and the yellow shape as well. And then we use the yellow directional paint here to help break up the concrete a little bit here and draw even more like detail and contrast. And then for just little details here, we have the white borders to help break up where we do have quite a few of the yellow blocks in a row. Last but not least, lighting. This is the stuff that when they grab the gen mat, all these lights turn red to show, alert, and it paints a nice picture. And lighting can also help draw some strong edges and lines and helps paint a better picture. Like if you look at this looks like a tech base, and how this looks like this might be some kind of door that can open and close, and maybe this is the panel that you use to open and close the door. All right, now let's talk about setting up traps for your base. Now, when it comes to this, fun is a huge aspect. Just like with the pitcher plant example, where that's going to bring more raiders in for you to kill, fun in the deadly department means that you've created the distracted player. A player is having fun is distracted, and a distracted player is a dead player. Now let's talk about the strategy. This is the part that I've struggled to explain because I'm not trying to show you a trap layout that you can copy. I'm trying to give you just a set of rules and a strategy that you can literally apply to any base and be as creative with as you want. So I've set it down to 3 simple rules in the form of threats. Every part of your base where you set up to kill a player, you want to create a triple threat in that room. The first threat is going to be the engaging threat. And in this example, it's these 2 AI soldiers here, these 2 AI guards that are going to proc danger sense, those orange bars that appear on the edge of your screen. And what that does is that helps mask danger sense created by traps in the second threat category, traps or AI. And in this case, we're using traps, and this is the flanking threat, or the threat that is going to try and hit the player from angles where they aren't looking. And because there's already danger sense being procced, they're going to be much more successful if you have this engaging threat in front of it. Now let's talk about the third and final threat, which is the part that restricts movement or boxes a player in. The full triple threat are these flyers we have set up here with the Bloodlust mod, which means as soon as that engagement threat engages the player, the flyers are going to come in and get behind the player and box them in. So as you can see, all 3 threats work with each other to create a much greater effect. And because of that, I don't need to fill the room full of traps. I can get by with a fairly minimal setup, which means I have a lot more points to set up additional kill rooms. This is a much more intricate base, and a base that is going to have a lot more success killing veteran raiders, and will still kill new players just as well as your death box did. Now, the warning I want to give about death boxes and why raiders appear to be overpowered is because what the death box does and fails horrifically at is it tries to create a checkmate scenario where they're like, ha, I gotcha, you can't win. But the thing is you can't create that scenario. If you could, Meet Your Maker would be broken. So you need to not pursue that avenue because it is an intentional dead end. Don't set up checkmate scenarios, they don't work. What you need to do is distract the player and then trick them and then blindside them somehow, right? That's how you get your kills against veteran players, and this triple threat philosophy is going to allow you to do that. I know this is probably really confusing, so if you have any questions, definitely put them in the comments below. Anyway, hope it was helpful. Thanks for watching, and again, if you have any further questions or if you want to see any more videos like this, please let me know in the comments.